We're going to try a little bit more, a little different shape, a crazier shape here. What we have here is we've got a shape that's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides, which would be a hexagon, and we would call it an irregular hexagon because all the sides aren't the same all the way around. So we've got an irregular six-sided figure, a regular hexagon, and I want to reflect it over this line right here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my vertices on here, so when I reflect it over, I'm able to connect the dots. Okay, and I'm going to label these the letters again so I can see where they match up at. So I'll just go A, B, C, D. We're going to have a few more, E and F. Okay, this one's a lot closer to the reflection line this time, so our distances aren't going to be as far. So I'm just going to start with D. Okay, and I'm going to do these kind of all at the same time here so you can see what's going on. I'll try to hold this correctly. 2 centimeters. Okay, so it needs to be 2 centimeters away from the other side. Meaning that if I held this up here, 2 and 2 would be 4. So I could just put my mark at 4 right here. Now they're the same distance away, and I'll just go ahead and label that D right away so I know that those are the opposites or the reflections. E. E's a little tougher. E's about 3.5, I would say. Okay, so if it's 3.5, if you can't figure out what 3.5 is, I could just put my thing here and make it 3.5 over here, which would be fine. Okay, so 3.5 would be right there, and that would be E. Now, if you do know what twice of 3.5 is, 3.5 and 3.5, 3 and 3 is going to be 6. Half and a half is a whole, so that would be 7. So from here to here, you can see that that is 7 apart. Okay, let's go to F. Let's see here. Looks like F is about 8.5. Okay, so 8.5 and 8.5. 8 and 8 is 16. Half and half is a whole, so that's going to be 17. So I'll just put it at 17 right there, and I will label it F. We'll go to B next. Looks like B is about 6. So we would want to put it on the other side at 12. Let's see here. So we'll put it at 12, and that's a B. And then our very last one, A, we'll put it right here. A is 8. 8 and 8 is going to be 16. Put it right there. Now we've got all our dots. Now we just need to connect it together. We know A connected with B. B looks like it connects with C. Where did I put C at? Oh, I didn't do C yet. That would be a nice thing to do. Okay. So for C, looks like it's 5.5. So 5.5 and 5.5 is going to be 11. So I'll just put it at 11 right there. So that would be C. Sorry about that. Connect B to C. Connect C to D. D to E. E to F. And then we've got F to A. And then we've got our reflection right there. Now, I didn't use a ruler, so it's not, or I did use a ruler, but I didn't use a ruler to draw the line, so it's not perfectly straight. But there is our reflection right there. And you can see D and D are the same apart from the reflection line. E and E, C and C, A and A, B and B, F and F. Sometimes you will actually be drawing these shapes on a coordinate plane, which you're familiar with, actually plotting these points on there, and they'll ask you to reflect it over one of the axes. Okay, and we talked about the different axes before. The one that goes from left to right or side to side is the x-axis. The one that goes up and down, horizontal, or vertical, I mean, is the y-axis. So over here, our problem is put these points down, make the shape, and then reflect it over the y-axis. So we've got to put our points on here first. Okay, so 1, 2, they're both positive, so that'd be right 1 up 2 would be right there. We've got 1, 8, right 1 up 8, both of the numbers are positive. 3, 2, right 3 up 2. And then we've got 3, 8, right 3 up 8. Okay. Now I'll just connect the dots to see what shape, and of course it's definitely a rectangle. Now, they ask you to reflect it over the y-axis. So that means our reflection line is the y-axis, which is this vertical line. So I'm just going to draw this green line right down here to know that this is what I'm reflecting it over. Okay, that line. That's our reflection line. Now, the nice thing about having a coordinate plane is you don't really need a ruler unless they're making the reflection line like crooked or something like that, because we've got the points on here and we can just count how far it is away. So I will label this A, B, C, and D. Okay. So if I go for A to the reflection line is just 1 away. So it needs to be 1 away on the other side. So I'll just put the dot there and I'll put A. B is 1, 2, 3 away from the reflection line, so I need to make it 3 away from the reflection line on the other side. 1, 2, 3. C is going to be 1, 2, 3 away from the reflection line, so we'll go 1, 2, 3. D is only 1 away from the reflection line, so we'll just make it 1 away on the other side, so we have D. Now if I draw my rectangle, I've got an actual mirror image here. And if we had to write what the points were, because sometimes they ask you, what's your new points? Our new points will be, and I'll just put it right here. A is going to be -1, +2. B is going to be 1, 2, 3, -3, +2, up 2, so it's +2. C is going to be, looks like 1, 2, 3, -3, and then 1, 2, 3, let's see, up to the 8, +8. And then the D is going to be -1, +8. Okay, so here would be our reflection of this rectangle over the y-axis or the vertical axis.